Simon O'Connor.
Mr Speaker, people don't want to change the government. That's really clear in recent polls. And part of it is that when they listen into debates like this, they hear only backward talk from an opposition living well back into the 70s and the 60s and arguing, if not even 1870s, the old tired arguments. And you see, one of the great things about being a National Party MP and a National Party member is that we actually believe in people. We believe optimistically that people can make the right decisions for themselves and their families. And I think it's something that the opposition needs to contemplate within the context of this particular piece of legislation, is continuing to run around and declaring every person they decide arbitrarily as a victim or a vulnerable group is actually contributing to that. It continues to keep people down. It's not to say that there are not people, including in the workers' areas, that need help. But if you listen always from the opposition, an arbitrary calling of people victims, holding them down, telling them that they are no good, telling them, and some of them, oh dear, they put their hands on their heads. How could this come from a person on the right wing? Well, you know, let's say that a lot of us have actually worked in the community for year after year, in the prisons or with the army, in the streets with the workers. This is not just theory. When it comes to the dignity of people, you want to give them the positive choices, beginning with the opportunities to work, and to tell them we have a belief in you, that you can make the right decisions, not making continual excuses which keep people down. And oh, they hate it. You see, what we've heard from the other side is negativity, pessimism, and no vision. And ultimately because it comes down to a desire for control. That's right. And that's what we are seeing being pushed back here. This Employment Relations Amendment is introducing that flexibility, taking us back to those original principles in employment relations. Yep, we are looking to say that we don't want absolute set rest breaks in law. We want that flexibility. Because, you know, right at the moment, to use a quick analogy, we don't want to stop because the MP's agreement says we need a 5-minute break at 8 o'clock. That's not how the real world works. Same as people in the nursing professions, health professions and so on. We're allowed to have that flexibility. We've heard a lot of concern around sort of the partial strikes. Well, all we've done around that is made it more clearly defined so people know where they stand. When it comes to bargaining, we believe on this side that Kiwis can make the right decisions. They can choose to go collectively and deal with the unions, or they can choose, like people like myself in the past, to negotiate individually. You know why? Because we believe optimistically that Kiwis are smart, that Kiwis can make that right decision and will generously make that right decision. So, Mr Speaker, there is a lot of good in this bill. The Select Committee, we spent a lot of time considering this. I certainly acknowledge there were thousands of submissions. Of course, it's important to say a lot of those were form submissions and saying the same thing. A lot of them, as my colleague from Coromandel is saying, is from the unions. Doesn't invalidate it. They absolutely have the right to speak. But, of course, there are a range. They have that ability to talk. We're very happy for that, but sheer numbers doesn't necessarily speak to the quality or the, I suppose, the range. Absolutely, and there is an element of that, of course, because around control, and it comes back to why they don't like this. They want to control. That's right. They want to control the way that places are run. In the same way they want to control, I believe, logging now. They want to control the electrical market. Absolutely, Labor knows best. I think, was it a hands-on policy? Yeah. Said it once before, they want the hands on your wallet and around your throat. They want to control New Zealanders. We don't believe in that, Mr Speaker.
Ian Lees, Galloway.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Split
Speaker.
call, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Mr Speaker,